Hello. This is what happens when an untrained man decides to fight in a competitive environment versus a traditional warrior who knows what he's doing, experienced warrior. Let's take a watch.
This is me in a Nigerian boxing match, otherwise known as Dambe, a brutal form of boxing which was used to prepare men for war in the olden days. So basically, in my head, this is how I thought the fight was going to go. I'm Conor McGregor in this situation.
That's interesting. Our genetics are encoded with this instinctive drive to fight. We all have the ability to fight, but if you don't train how to fight, you don't really have the ability to express that potential. Every one of your ancestors at one point in time came along conflict, and a lot of that conflict was violence. They had to mitigate it. It is in our DNA. We all feel like we have the ability to fight to some extent, but you have to train that ability. You have to temper that sword, bring it out from within you, and that's what we see here. This guy thought he would see red and be able to fight the moment the fight began, but that's not how it went along. Let's continue watching.
It didn't work out how I expected it to. Since I have zero boxing experience, I'm honestly lucky I didn't have my teeth knocked out.
He's smiling throughout this process. He's like, why am I even doing this? Why am I putting my head inside a lion's mouth? This is ridiculous. And this is just what happens to the average person who is completely untrained. They get overwhelmed. They experience frontal lobe shutdown or cortical inhibition. He says he doesn't know what happened. He doesn't know what happened when this was happening. This guy was slugging him with haymakers, blasting him with bombs, and he did not know what happened. That is frontal lobe shutdown or cortical inhibition. He doesn't have a response. The brain is flooded with cortisol and you just kind of blank out and go to a base reaction, flight or fight. In this case, he's laughing, the hilarity, the absurdity of the matter. That is what happened. And that is why this is very serious. This could have been very bad. He could have lost teeth. He could have had his face changed. This could have been a big deal. But the man lives to smile another day with minor injuries.
You can see I don't know what happened, but he knocked me out. I got cut lip. I'll be alright.
This is evidence that you can only fight the way you train. If you don't have a way trained to flow from, to express from, you won't have a reaction when things start hitting the fan. You will just shell up and you will be overwhelmed. That's what most people will react like. And it's interesting because we all do feel like we can fight, but if you don't have the ability trained, this is just a common reaction that we all will see happen. That's just a natural byproduct of the situation. You shell up, you freeze, you don't have a response trained, and so you get overwhelmed and you collapse, you crumble. That's what we saw here. And this was courageous, sure, but it's not very wise. I don't recommend he do this again until he learns how to actually fight, because you are putting your health on the line. You're putting your brain cells, you're putting your face, you're putting a lot of things on the line. Wisdom is very important when it comes to fighting, being humble and wise. That's one of the first things you learn when you enter a gym. You have to be humble so you can gain wisdom to train properly, so you can develop skills in a very healthy way, and through that process, you innately develop the reactions necessary to handle conflict. This man did not have that, and the result, he luckily only sustained minor injuries, but it was all in good fun, I guess, even though this is not a joke. Nonetheless though, thank you all for watching. What do you think of this entire situation? Your perspective is always appreciated. Please like if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace.